Okay, let's talk about what's the matter. Okay, so for this, let's use lithium as an example. Okay, so the atom we're going to start out with is lithium. Okay, which is going to have 3 protons. So somewhere on here, my protons are in blue. And we'll say this first one has 4 neutrons. Actually, we're going to give it 5 neutrons. So right now we have lithium. Okay? Because we have 1, 2, 3 positives, okay? And because this is an atom, we also know that we have 3 electrons. So on the outside of this, 1, 2, I'm just going to place 3 in the same ring. Electrons. Okay? So our atom does not have a charge. First thing we're going to do, we're going to add or subtract a proton. Okay, so let's just say that we got rid of a proton. If we subtract a proton, then we're going to be a new element. Okay, and if I subtract 1, then I'm no longer lithium with 3 protons, but instead I am now helium with 2. So now I am He. All right. Let's add another atom onto this. So if we add an entire atom, we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I got this. Okay, so here's my lithium. Li. Okay, and we're going to say that it's reacting with chlorine. So if I have lithium chloride, this would be another element that's completely reacting, sharing, And if we find chlorine on the periodic table, we have 17 protons, a mass of 35. 35 minus 17 is our 18 neutrons. Okay, so I'm just going to place on here that we have 18 neutrons, and that we also have 17 protons. That's what makes it chlorine. Okay, so right now this would be a molecule. Other molecules that you guys already know of are things like H2O. Okay, so by adding molecules together, we've made dihydrogen monoxide. We could have CO2. Okay, these are all examples of covalent bonds. We could have sodium chloride. This is an example of ionic bond. And later on, we'll talk about why that is. Okay. Another thing we could do, we could add or subtract a neutron. So if we have lithium, if we're talking about lithium, we have to have 3 protons. 1, 2, 3. That's what makes it lithium. Over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's give it one more. So if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, we are still lithium, but now this is a isotope. Okay, and a better way to phrase that, these are isotopes of each other. Okay, this would be lithium 8, while this is lithium 9. So isotopes, you always give them their mass number, the number of protons and neutrons. Okay, same thing, we have our 3 positives because we are an atom. 1, 2, 3. We have our 3 electrons. Okay, now what's going to be new is when we add or subtract an electron. This is what we're going to call ions. Okay, ion. So we have ions. We have new elements. We have, oh, we should probably write the word over here, molecules. Molecules, new elements, ions, and over here we have isotopes. Okay, so those are 4 words. An ion is when we're going to add or subtract an electron. So let's just do an example. So let's just say we have lithium. We have our 3 positives. Okay, we're also going to say that we have our 5 neutrons. Okay, so that's our nucleus. Now in our electrons, let's just say in our rings we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that we have 4 electrons, there are 4 negatives and 3 positives. That means that this is lithium with a charge of -1. Okay, there's an extra negative compared to your positives. All right, let's do another one. 1, 2, 3 positives. We got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 neutrons, which have no charge. Okay, so they don't really, that makes no difference as far as our positive or negative charge, which is over here. 3 positives, 5 neutrons, and now let's just say we only have 1, 2. Okay, so we now have 2 negatives, and we have 3 positives. This would be lithium with a charge of +1. Okay, positives are called cations, and negatives are called anions. Okay, so I know this looks a little messy, but right now we have our atom. If we add or subtract a proton, we have a new element. If we add another atom entirely, we start making molecules: carbon dioxide, water, sodium chloride. If we're adding or subtracting a neutron, which doesn't have a charge, it changes your mass. We call these isotopes. This is lithium-9, this is lithium-8. We have a different number of neutrons. They each have 3 protons, and that's what make it lithium. Up here, if we add or subtract an electron, okay, so if we add electrons, we get a negative charge. If we subtract an electron, we end up getting a positive charge. Okay, and that is what's the matter.